Hi, now we're going to talk about how we going to first we set up the password to log in. So then we have a Wi-Fi setup. Now I want to demonstrate. I went and put in the 8 gig inside. I wanted to demonstrate what it looked like before you do anything else. So only thing we did was to log it in and set up the joystick and set up the password. Now we want to see what it looked like before. Now what I did on this one is I rotated the display underscore rotate equal 2. Equal 2 is for track the track mode. The equal 3 is for emulator. So right now the emulator is not in the correct direction, but once you started the track mode, it will work. It will be in the right direction. But I want to show you there's a problem with the 8 gigabyte image. You have to do some setup on RetroArt in order for it to display correctly on the full screen. So for the 8 inches diagonally, 8 inches screen, this image is not going to be perfect. So here are some of the tips, some steps, and I'm going to show you step by step how to make it work. But let me go ahead and demonstrate it so you know exactly what I'm talking about. See, right now, as you can see, this whole thing, see, is in a full screen. See that how I want you to memorize the brightness is over down touching very close to this, okay? Later you're gonna see that it's not covering, it's gonna be further away from it. So let me demonstrate the video game. Maybe I could just do it from here without changing to track mode. I already installed a PC Engine in here for the pinball, so that's why you are seeing this, okay? So I got the B set up on this side. All right, let's just run a quick one from not switching to track mode, because once you switch to a track mode, you can't go back. You stay in the track mode because the system doesn't have an option for you to switch it back. You have to go press F4 and then run emulator station to get to the emulator station. All right, so let's go ahead and run this one directly from emulator. And I'm gonna go ahead and move and change it to a track mode too, so you guys can see what it looked like if you don't do nothing other than just set it up. See, you see the screen, how far away from it? This is it's supposed to be 8 inches from all the way down here, and it's missing that gap. See that? So this image is not made for CounterCade arcade 1-up DigDug or whatever arcade you bought, like a Mrs. Pac-Man or this one or Galaga. They're all gonna be vertical screen. So, and I think also Mrs. Pac-Man too. See, now this is showing the full screen, but once the game started, it's going to go down. See where my finger is now? It's right now showing up to here. But once the game started, see how much is lose this much image. Same thing with DigDug. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch it to track mode. You might say, okay, Johnny, you just showing me the emulation mode. Okay, well, all right, let's just go to track mode. Since I have make 2 images copy, one is I have a 32 gig here. I'm going to show you how to utilize the full space using the 32 gig. So we're going to do that one. This one just for demo only. So I'm going to go to I got the PC engine working on emulator, but the problem is you have to look at it upside sideways. But the game does play the game does display it correctly in the right direction, and but when you go to track mode, it doesn't give you an option to add more emulator into the track mode, because the track mode is fixed. So you can't really change a whole lot. But if you want it from emulator and change this to a vertical theme, then your screen will not look upside down. And then you could, I got this one set. Oops, press the one button. And it should display the same direction. No, it's not. Yeah. It's gonna display sideways. So it doesn't work. So this version is pretty much you get stuck with what you as you can see, it's still not full screen, even though it's sideways. You see that big gap right there. Okay, see that big gap? Not using a full screen. All right, let me go to track mode real quick. So by adding more game, the problem with it is not go hand to hand with the. Alright, so I'm gonna go and select the first one on top, the track mode, okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and start it with track mode. And I want to show you that if you don't do anything fixed with it, you're gonna be disappointed with the image you download, because I was very disappointed. I'm like, how come Valve did not go over this? He told me to buy a video card, get the 8 GB and image, which I did from Arcade Punk. And now I'm playing the DigDug and all the game where the screen is already bad enough. It's already 8 inches. Now I'm playing like a 7-inch screen. So I'm like, oh great, and I wasn't very happy. Now I think it's okay. Now it shows is a full screen. Okay, you can see it showing the full screen on the first page. But when you start the game, it's a different story. So let me go DigDug real quick. Show you the difference. Okay, it doesn't make sense for me to show you something that you didn't see before, which is this arcade is DigDug. So it makes sense to just show you the same game so you can see the difference. And this one is pretty nice. They have, you know, track mode look and everything. Got video demo. You know, it's beautiful. It's nice. But here's the problem I'm having with this image. Okay, it's the arcade one, as you can see. See that? It's not using the full screen. And so I'm kind of upset. I'm like, oh, great. Now DigDug is in a small screen. So we are going to fix that. And so let's go ahead and do that and get that fixed. But first, I want to go ahead and go through some of the steps. We're going to utilize the SD card. Okay, so I'm going to switch this back to emulator. But since I already moved it to track mode, if you turn this machine off and on, it's gonna go directly track mode. So for example, it doesn't. You have to use a keyboard to press escape. It doesn't even have escape set up. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna type in pseudocode reboot. And I don't think you guys want to look at my instruction upside down. So we're going to change it back to the 32 gig SD card, and then with the display underscore rotation equal 3. Equal 3 is for the emulator for it to face correct direction. Equal 3 is for the track mode. So this is set up to equal 3, and it automatically goes to track mode. There's no way to go into anything else. I don't see any RetroPie or anything in here, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, just press, which is kind of cool. You get to play Galaga and all the game in one system. But it's not full screen. That's the problem I'm having. Let's go ahead and start this. Oh, you press B, you could get out. So you could get out, press B. You press B, you will get out. But here's the problem I'm having is, see, it's not using a full screen. So when you're playing the game, you only can move up to here. You can't go any further. You lost inch there, an inch there. So that's pretty bad. But everything else from top to bottom is okay. You can see the name and everything is not cut off. But the size is all cut off. So we're going to make that to a full screen. So you could have, we're going to set that up. All right, let's go turn this off real quick. Let's escape from here. Press select and start same time. Press B. Say yes. And there's no shutdown. So I'm going to do... I don't know, there's such a thing as shutdown. Oh well. I'm just gonna power it off. Oop. Okay, it's off. Take the SD card out. Put in the regular 32 gig, which is display underscore rotate equals 3. And this is for the config.txt. You want to edit the file using the PC and add this at the very bottom of the line. And this will give you the emulator where you will face correct direction. So you want to do all this setup before you change it to a track mode. Because once you change the track mode, you stay on track mode and you can't go back other than stay in the track mode, which is fine. You have 36, I think. 838 game. Alright, so right now I burn the 8 gig SD card into what you call it, a 32 gig image. So I want to utilize all 32 gig. Okay, right now it's not, it's only using 8 gig. So if you're using 8 gig, you have enough space to, not a whole lot, just enough to play it. Okay, so now everything is right side up. This is how I want it. So I could do the setup right here. So I have also installed a lot of game on this SD card. So you have 4 pinball game, 4 Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and all of them are pinball game, but they don't have image. Okay. 11 pinball made game and 11. So I have a full set of all the pinball that I could find for all the different console. Seems like Nintendo 64 only have 2 pinball game and so on. But anyway, the purpose I'm here is to go ahead and set up the Raspberry Pi. First I want to go ahead and do the SD card. So I'm going to press F4 for my keyboard. Go to the command prompt. Alright. From here, I'm going to type in, this is reciting SD card, so to utilize the free space. So we're going to type the df minus bm, and this is to see what exactly, that's the most I could zoom in. Can y'all see all that? That's to see what kind of space I have. I got 79% that I'm not using. Okay, I got using blah blah blah, and I'm not using like all the space. Available space only 147, 1477 megabyte. I can see that. Yeah, 1477 megabyte available. Okay, so only utilize 79%. So I want to see if I could increase that because I have 32 gig. Right now it's only showing up here that I have a 7.2 gigabyte and use 5.5 and only have available 1.56, use 79%. So this image I still have space to add game to it, which I did. Okay, but I want to utilize the whole 32. Why not? Okay, but this is a step that for those people who want to burn an image from a 128 to a 256 gigabyte, how do you use the whole space of the 256 gigabyte? Because the image only now you cannot use a mini tool wizard because it doesn't support the partition how the Raspberry Pi Linux is partitioned. So we're gonna have to run this command right here. I'm gonna type sudo sudo raspit raspi-config config. Okay. Once you're here, we are going to select number 7. Okay, advanced option. Configure the advanced setting. All right, we're going to do that. Press enter. Then we're going to select number 1. Expand the file system. Okay, ensure that all of the SD card storage. Okay, now reboot the partition has been resized. The file will be enlarged upon the next reboot. So we're gonna have to exit out here. And we are going to reboot. Okay, he asked me, do you want to reboot? And I say yes. All right. Raspberry Pi take a bit longer to reboot. I mean, this is a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. I don't know if I mentioned that, but go ahead and tell you again. It's a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. Okay, we're gonna press F4 again and see how much space do we have. We're gonna type in what's the command again? df. I just press F4 to get out here. Okay, just FYI if you don't see. So you type df lowercase space minus uppercase b and lowercase m as in Mary. Press enter. All right. So now as you can see, I have 22,182 megabyte available, and I only use up only 21%. See that? So that's like a 22 gigabyte that I'm not using. So I'm only using 5.5 gigabyte, and I have 22 gigabyte available. So I have utilized all the space on the SD card. So when you burn an 8 gigabyte, you only going to get 8 gigabyte storage available to use unless you do this command to increase it. If you don't increase it, you don't have that much space to do anything else with it. Okay, so just FYI. All right, now is the good part is to fix everything else. So let's go ahead. Let's type in emulator, EMULATION, emulation station, STATION. That will bring you back to the emulator station. Okay, so that's the first part that we just covered, how to increase the SD card. Now we are going to talk about how to upgrade this from a 4.4 to a 4.5. Okay, so we are going to go to the we are going to go to Retro Pi, and then we are going to go to we're going to go to Raspberry and setup script. So Raspberry Retro Pi setup. Okay, so let's see, that's the most I could zoom in. Alright, so we're going to do is to upgrade the Raspberry Pi setup script, which is this one right here. Okay, we're gonna upgrade the script. Click A button to OK. Say, are you sure you wanted to upgrade Raspberry Pi setup script? Yes. So you want to do that. All right. So now it's running the upgrade script. It doesn't take long, it's finished. All right. So this next one we are going to do is to select the manager package. And I'll put all this on the description, the step-by-step. So manage the package. So we're going to manage the package right there. Press enter. I mean the A button. And then we are going to select the manage the core package, which is the first option. Then we're going to install and upgrade all core package from binary, which is the first one as well. Okay, press enter. And we're going to select yes. Now this might take a minute or two, maybe less than 2 minutes, maybe about a minute or so. And what that does is installing and upgrade the core package from the binary. So it's going to take you to 4.5.4. So when you upgrade the script, you are going to right now your Retro Pi is on 4.5.4 now. Okay. It was 4.4. Now it's 4.5.4 version. So it's updating everything for you. All right, so about a minute, less than a minute, so it's done. Okay, so you want to do those two update. Now we're gonna press we're gonna select back. I'm gonna select back again. Now we're gonna configure the tool. Okay, so we're gonna go to the tool, which is the one below it, configure/tool. We are going to upgrade the splash screen. Okay, the splash screen that you do the video and all that stuff. So you want to do that whenever you have a video that show on the image. You want to do the configure tool. And you want to go all the way down to 837. This might change depending on the version. Right now we're in the 4.5.4. So it'll be 337. So we're gonna keep on go right there. 837. Okay, that's the number. 837 splash screen configuration. So it's configuring the splash screen. Press A button. Okay. Then after that, we're gonna select number 3, which we're going to enable. Enable splash screen random. Right now it's disabled. We're gonna go ahead and enable it. We're gonna choose the one below it, which is random on splash screen from Home Pi Raspberry splash screen, Raspberry Pi splash screen folder. That's where it's going to get the video from. So your video, like a video that you saw that the car racing, that's where you're gonna get that from. Okay. Then after you choose that, then we're gonna just see, choose. We did the random. I'm looking at my note because skip now, photo, go image, no. Choose the splash screen. Alright, it just say press A. Okay, I'm in the right place. And that's the splash screen that we see from when you first start up. So I'm just gonna cancel that. No need to. Alright, so we already enabled the, see right here, we already enabled the random splash screen from your own custom splash screen. So we're just gonna cancel it out right now. Okay, so we are done right here on this one. So we did an upgrade. The Raspberry Pi now is in the latest version. Okay, it's in 4.5.4 now, and today is the December 20, I believe, and this is the time for watching Netflix. The Witcher by the guy who plays Superman, Henry something. He have his new movie coming out today. We're gonna go watch that. Okay. All right. So we did everything we need to do on set up the Raspberry Pi. Okay. Now we are going to set up the screen, so the screen will be a full screen. Okay. So we are going to go to retro. Okay. Let me make sure I don't miss any step. So I did the second is to upgrade. Oh, third one, if you having problem logging into the IP address, you have to do some setup. So I'll put that in a separate video because not everybody's gonna have that problem. And then also if you want to install like a virtual image, see right now, if you want to set up a different virtual image, you could go ahead and do that by pressing the going to the EM theme. And the two that work well with this vertical screen is you could download all the gallery, okay, and then you could update the theme. I recommend do both, okay, but I don't want to take too much time from this video. I'm gonna go look for the one is the one called the virtual theme called 108 and 148. So 108 and 148, which is an easier way to do this. Yeah, if you download all the theme, easier for you to pick. You could install it later on. Since you already have a 22 gig of free space, so okay, 108 right here. You want to install the virtual arcade. Okay, that's the virtual arcade screen. Go ahead and install that. And the next one you want to install is the virtual limited theme. That one is actually the best one, 148. That one actually looks very nice. So you go to 148. So those are the two that right now support vertical screen. So if you want to do your own image without using this 8 GB, you could use this two theme that support it. Okay, so I'm going to install it and I'm going to show you what it looks like later. You could choose those two. So those are only two that actually, and I'll also put that in the description. All right, that's it with the theme. Now we're gonna fix the screen, okay? We're gonna go to the retro art. This is a very important subject, okay? I haven't typed this into the description yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and add this on the description. So you wanna go to retro art. Remember I was showing this, the video that it wasn't covering the full screen? Well, this will fix it, okay? All right, so you're gonna go to the setting. You're gonna go to the video. Okay. I also turned this one to on. Alright. The full screen mode, I put it on. I didn't touch a virtual refresh rate, I left it alone. Now this is a part that you want it to be 4:3. Okay. So you're going to change this to 4:3. See that the screen is covering the full screen. It's showing you, if you use 1:1, that's what it looks like on the game. 2:1, you want to pick the ones that's almost there, but it's not quite. The one I recommend is 4:3. Is perfect. You don't want to use a core provider because not all the game is a full screen. Even though you think it's a full screen vertically, but it's not. So you want to do 4.3. Okay. Huh. Well, now it's not showing a full screen. I think it's because the screen is not tilted correctly. So I'm changing from a 16:9 to a 4:3. All right. Because once it's tilted correct direction, it should be okay. So do 4.3, and then we are going to say we're going to set it up so when you exit out the game, it will save. Okay, so we're going to press right now. After all the setup, if you exit out, it's not going to save it. So we're going to press B to get out, and we're going to go to configuration. You want to change that. Right now it says save configuration on exit is turned off. So when you exit out the game, you want it to be safe. Okay, let me show you that. You want to turn it on. So all those changes you did, it will save when you get out. And then in saving here, you want to turn this one to save automatic index. I want to turn it on. Oh, you could set it per second, like how many seconds it will automatically save while you're playing the game. I'll go ahead and turn it to no, I think that one auto save. No, that auto save here. Turn on. Turn this one on. Don't override the SD. Turn that one on. So it's the index on, and off. Auto save, auto load. Let me turn that one on. So on. Auto save stage on index on. Auto RAM save. You could play with this, see which one is better for you. But this is like how many seconds it automatically save the game for you. Let's put down every 10 seconds save the game while I'm playing. Don't override the save RAM. Let me leave this one off. Alright, I just have this one on. Because I don't have a button to load the game that I saved. And it's not set up correctly. So I need to look into that. Because if you could set it up where you press a button to automatically load where you save, then you could turn this one off. But I want to turn it on because I want to play the game and then later come back and play where I left off the game. You know, pick up where I left off. So I want to turn that one on. So press B to get out, and then now press B again. Now go to configuration file. I want to go ahead and save the current setting, what I just changed. I want to go. I manually told it to go ahead and save it. Okay, and I also want to say save the new configuration. I don't know which is which, but I think this is just official. Just do it that way. Okay, that's it. Get out, then you quit, and everything should be safe. So let's go back in again, make sure everything is safe. It's 4x3. Let's make sure. All right. So go to setting. Go to video. Let's see. Yeah, I saved to 4x3. Okay, so I'm good. That's pretty much it. So now let's demonstrate the game and see what it looked like if you play the arcade game. Oop. Now I don't know if the arcade game need to be flipped to play it correctly, because I don't think this is going to demo correctly. Let's try anyway. I think it's gonna be, I have to run it in arcade track mode. Yes, it's not in the correct direction. So I have to flip it the other direction. But before I do that, let's go ahead and let me show you the theme that I just added so you can see what it looks like. So you go to UI setting, and you go to, originally it come with a carbon setting for this one. So I want to use a vertical limited arcade theme, and then then just back. Okay, and then just press start button again. There you go. I like this one. This one is very nice, very pretty. And then you could run the what you call the, you could run it so you could, when you pick a picture, it will show a picture. Right now it's not showing any picture because it's not it doesn't have, for some reason it shows pictures and video on the track mode, but it doesn't show on emulation, so it's a separate setup. So you will have to run this command right here, scrape, and then you want to do now, but you want to turn this off. If you don't turn it off, it's going to keep on asking you every time it's running the program. So you want to turn it off. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and start the track mode. Since I'm going to leave this in track mode anyway, because those other game won't work. But well, let me demonstrate some of the game here. I think the game here will show in a full screen now. Okay, let's do Time Crisis. No, it's still showing sideways. Yeah, it's still showing sideways. Alright, let's go to track mode. Let me see. The track mode, I will have to change this to number 3. So I go to PC and change this to number 3. So that way, when I run track mode, it'll be the right direction. So let me go ahead and do a shutdown.